as we continue our thoughts on this past week's wrestling TV. WWE Smackdown started with kind of a surprising thing with Cole, who seems to be the third man on that commentary team now.
Yeah, I after seeing SmackDown this week, they need him badly. I think I've never seen it so much, and I don't even know if it was Cole just being Cole the way he is now, or if it's his experience over the years and whatnot. But there was so many points where Stryker was on some rampage about the mindset of, Tyler Rex or something, and Justin, what's the dude's name? Josh Matthews?
Todd Grisham.
Todd Grisham. The amount of edits, I mean, you could hear there was times where Cole had asked him specifically, mentioning his name, and it would go back over to Stryker taking an answer. How many times I counted it where they're like, over to you, Todd, or Todd, what do you think? And it was just edited to shit. The amount of shit that must get cut from SmackDown these days, and it's no wonder probably Cole was sent over there, because there's another point where the Swagger match with MVP and that bloody bird thing, what was it, an eagle or something?
Swagger's soaring eagle.
And Stryker was banging on and on about something at the end, but Cole was saving it. Cole was, what about the eagle? Is the eagle okay? Selling the eagle. And while Swagger was just on some, name dropping blitz.
We talked about it just last week, how Todd Grisham did appear edited, heavily edited at that, and indeed you're right that this week there were so many silences and gaps that they had obviously post-produced and gotten rid of. Just what is he saying that's so wrong? And indeed, I've heard workers on commentary getting away with worse and not seemingly being told anything, because they're on the commentary again not long after. But if he is that bad, I suppose they have to do it. And indeed, he's still not on the pay-per-views, which I think is a really kind of unfair thing.
I think his problem, what it looks like to me, is that he's paying too much attention to all the notes in front of him. He's constantly, looking down just to double check himself, and even in his kind of delivery, he's not convincing. He does sound like just a robot with somebody probably in his ear for one and notes in front of him. But if he just talks about it, like Big Show kept down, did his thing, and he just talked about what the hell was going on, just kept it rolling,
I wonder, is it a permanent move? And will Cole be there now in future? He certainly mentioned a few times that this is where he started his career and that he was happy to be back there. And I certainly can see him staying around for a while. Now, we had Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio. Those two guys taking each other on to qualify for Team Smackdown. No surprises to see that I think those two ended up with Mysterio being put into the team, and Cody Rhodes not expected really to be on there, but I'm happy with the dashing gimmick, and indeed he did look well in the ring this week. Being a singles guy, I think a good way to get him over. Of course, he's in the team, so he's got two deals going on, but ultimately I think they started off right with him, and I think a bad move to put him in this team.
I think I disagree. I like that they've kept him with the team of him and Drew.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Jesus, yeah. Did he make the SmackDown team? Yeah.
He didn't. I think it was right. Mysterio who did. I'll confirm.
Oh yeah, because it was him and Mysterio. Well, I suppose yeah. I think we'd probably like him to be on the team, but it would have to be Mysterio, really, wouldn't it? That's the problem. It
is the problem. Get rid of guys like Mysterio, and then guys will have a chance to be in places like that. And Mysterio has for years just been the default choice for so many things, and
he is the face of SmackDown.
He is, unfortunately, in my book, because it's just been the most long-winded thing to see him on there. He did go to Raw for a bit, didn't he?
Yeah, unfortunately he did, but he's kind of the mask of SmackDown, I suppose. He's not really the face.
Yeah, that's right. no more than a mask, really. The high flying moves are good, and the 619 is sometimes looks fluid, but other than that, I really don't know what he does in the ring. I can't remember.
Yeah, he sells a lot of masks, basically.
Yeah, merchandise indeed a big part in the success of Mysterio after so long now, and indeed other than that, SmackDown had not as good matches as Raw, but there's no surprises there. Del Rio, Alberto, took on Masters, and indeed Alberto sort of did again look good side by side with Masters. These two both around the same size, and Masters is probably the best jobber you can ever have.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, isn't it? But the match was, I suppose, okay. I don't know if I'll probably regret saying that about anything to do with Chris Masters, but I did like Alberto's no sell with the handshake and just the wink. I like Alberto Del Rio. He's a cool cat.
Yeah, Alberto has been a real surprise to me, because I really felt like when he first came in with those very, very boring and long vignettes that I fast forwarded through, that I'd never be into him. But just a few weeks now on TV, and of course that appearance on the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, to me has built him up excellently, and I think he could be a massive face. One of the big things that I think they did, and I'm glad they did, was to take that mask off him. Of course, backstage he wasn't happy with that.
I wonder if they had left it on, what kind of a deal they would have went with. Would be interesting if they just kept it exactly the same and he had a mask.
Maybe an evil Mysterio counterpart.
More sellable, coming in with his car and his ring announcer. Might have been pretty cool.
As you say, there's room for only one mask in the WWE, and mask of the company, as you've said, Mysterio looks to be the guy who's always going to be there. But why were they doing this week? I suppose it was to keep him busy, and of course Mysterio's got other things on his mind for the next week or two, with his position on Team SmackDown now cemented for bragging rights. Now we had Edge working with Dolph Ziggler. Of course, earlier on today we talked about how Edge appears to be babyface, and working with Dolph Ziggler, again, it's pointing in that direction. Edge with his new red sunglasses and a huge pop. And indeed, our thoughts on Edge babyface on YouTube. You can check that out in one of our other videos. Finally then, we had Caval getting some time in the ring. He had to last 5 minutes in there with the Big Show, and indeed it resulted in Tyler Rex coming out. Now Tyler Rex is back after his airplane incident. We all heard about how Tyler, real life legit, on a plane, saw something wrong with the wing of a plane, and got very freaked out and started saying it to everyone, and I think a bit of a joke of the company. But this week, with the physique still intact and those dreadlocks and an evil work, I think there could be something there.
Yeah, very surprising. I didn't even know who it was when he came out at first, but Tyler Rex has got a beard and some dreadlocks. Does it really distinguish him from the others? Really, maybe a little bit, but again, he's just another dude in tights, and why don't we get the gimmicks? That's my question. Why don't we get the gimmicks?
We just don't seem to have too many good gimmicks. The gimmicks that are there are very low key, and there just isn't a whole lot to them. They really are about...
That's exactly it. They're very low key.
The colour of the tights is the gimmick. Yeah. And whatever Kofi's colours are for the week, that's what he is. That's his character. The colour on his tights, and I feel like that's all that distinguishes some guys from the other. Kofi is a bit distinguishable, of course, with the dreadlocks, but maybe a feud with him and Tyler Rex could be interesting.